Good journalism is hard to find, but lately we've been finding some good journalism. Yesterday, I did a piece with Ayman Mohel Yaldeen. We had Hassan that's doing some Mehdi Hassan that's doing some good work in the way he's interrogating people, questioning people, not letting them bloviate. And today we had Jen Psaki. Sununu came on. He decided not to run after all for the presidency as a Republican. And she came on and did a great thing when he decided to snow the reality of Trump being helped by the Russians. He wanted to call it, oh, it's a false story, while he's given the narrative of what Republicans needed to do to have a chance of winning. But you know what? Jen Psaki didn't allow him to get away with it.
The Republican primary field for 2024 is getting more crowded by the day. You may have noticed that with Chris Christie, Mike Pence, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum all expected to enter the race this week. But today, one other Republican who is considered a possible candidate announced that he's not running. New Hampshire Governor Gov Sununu, a moderate, self-described pro-choice Republican who handily won re-election to a fourth term last year, writes in a Washington Post op-ed that, quote, "Our party is on a collision course toward electoral irrelevance without significant corrective action." And that, quote, "The stakes are too high for a crowded field to hand the nomination to a candidate who earns just 35% of the vote. And I will help ensure this does not happen." Strong words there. We all know which Republican primary candidate he means. I think we know. And Governor Sununu joins me now. So let's start with an announcement that you had a big news day today, but let's start with an announcement that we're going to see in New Hampshire tomorrow. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is going to make his run official in your home state. Neither of you hold back in criticizing Donald Trump, but you have that in common. Do you think he has a path to beat Donald Trump in the primary?
Oh, sure. Look, I think almost all the candidates have a very viable path to beating Donald Trump. And, you just said it right there. Chris isn't shy about casting criticism where it is well-deserved with the former president. But this is the problem. All 12 of the other candidates need to cast the same type of criticism because it's not that they're out there to beat Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't represent the Republican Party. Right. He's the outsider. And we've kind of let him get away with kind of co-opting, I think, what are better traditional ideals of the Republican Party of limited government and local control. He wants to relitigate the past. And if we're going to be successful in the Republican Party, we got to move forward in the future. Repeat of 16.
It looks like, according to a lot of legal eagles, we could see another indictment for Donald Trump soon. Now, we know the hush money indictment didn't seem to change the dynamic. If anything, it seemed to help him in the polls. Do you think an indictment on issues around other indictments could help other candidates or would hurt Trump? No. You don't think the indictments matter?
No.
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Obviously
Tell me what you think.
No.
They don't.
They absolutely don't matter. No, these indictments, and if I may, a combination of the media, you're creating the boy who cried wolf syndrome, right? What happened in New York was wrong. I mean, it really was. They are beating up on Trump for political reasons. Everybody sees that. What happened with the Russian collusion that never existed effectively exonerated the guy so he can play a victim card. You've all created a situation where, God, what kind of planet are we on where Donald Trump's become the victim?
Well,
but that's
first of all,
really what it is.
I think and
so now nobody believes it. Nobody believes it.
We know, I have to stop you on there because we know very clearly that Putin and the Kremlin did intervene in our election in order to try to help Donald Trump back in 2016. So we know that is true. But you may think that they shouldn't engage in this as a messaging tool because it's not helpful to them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm not going to relitigate, the Russian collusion nonsense that went on for 2 years.
You don't need to relitigate. It's been litigated by lawyers and investigations.
It's nonsense. But now nobody buys that any attack on Trump isn't anything but political. Everyone has kind of created this scenario, and he is playing it to the fullest. He's playing the violin strings better than anyone imagined, which is why his poll numbers miraculously are actually going up. So these candidates are going to have to get on the stage, talk about what they're going to do going forward. Every one of them has to call him out. If you're not calling out Donald Trump for the non-Republican that he really is, for the mistakes he made in the past, then you don't deserve to be on the stage.
The word is arguably. It's arguably right that collusion was a part of Trump winning. And while it is true that Sununu would constantly try to keep the Republican narrative that says it wasn't, making sure that that does not go unanswered, making sure that whenever these charlatanes lie, misinform, mislead, ill-informed, making sure that it's answered so that within the ethos, the last word isn't that of the liar. Great job, Jen Psaki.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.